Okay, now switch again. And people who told the story first are going to tell another story. And what I want you to do is tell a story. Now, this story can actually be something that you care about, okay? If you want it to be. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. What I want the listener to do is to take all your energy and attention and put it on the other person. And you might notice you'll have a thought about what they're saying, but just let the thought go and bring your energy back to them and listen to them. Okay? So you're going to stay with that person the whole time and just let them go where they want to go. If they, if you feel like there's a lull or something and you want to, the only thing you can do is to keep them going by saying, oh, what else? I'll say more about that. But fast and quick. Don't interject anything about yourself. Don't ask them about something they weren't talking about. Just stay with what they're saying and on them. And if there's silence, that's fine. But keep your attention on them. Okay? All right? Go.
So I've been having the Army for just over a year. Well, now that I've been to the East Bay, I want to say that
if I send it in, if I have that little video
away
tape,
from the
they'll see how much change it makes.
away from the snooty energetic people, and it's got its own world of something. It's a lot different than
I like kids better.
mentality.
I just think they're just so much more real. They're when a child tells you something, more than likely to tell you. They'll react to you. It's usually an reaction, not something that's like staying in your face.
Not as easygoing,
That's still pretty cool.
not as understanding,
They come off in certain ways
selfish.
because they think they want you to see them.
And I find the East Bay to be more of a giving, spiritual, holistic.
Yeah, I do. Actually, both my schools are
Really? So,
She's supposed to be
the fact that the trees are greener, people are sweeter, pricing is less, and makes life more affordable. I can really start to build my gap and expenses in my road. I can build a little gap here over in the East Bay where I can meet my expenses.
So we don't have to let our moving.
Thrilled about the East Bay. Never been happy.
And that's
that's cool.
Hey, if that's your story, I'll take you for everything that you say.
Okay, we'll start on this end this time.
We wanted something to talk about that was passionate to me.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, how did that feel for you? For me to...
You were staring at me a lot. It was a little uncomfortable, but I'll just stare right back at you.
Yes, okay. Should we leave it at that?
Am I good at that, staring?
No, should we leave it at that?
Yeah, we should leave
Okay,
it at that.
okay, all right. Okay, who was talking? Okay, how did that work for you?
I ran out of things to say.
Mm-hmm. And what about energy-wise? Like, did you like it? Did you not like it?
I'm used to it. I have a friend, Brian, who never talks. So I just keep telling him my stories. But at least he'll be like, all right, dog. So I know he's involved. But he just, was just smiling and had to make me say more because I ran out of gas.
And did he do that well?
Oh, he played it perfectly.
Excellent.
And I'd like to interject something that I noticed on that is I found that you said to focus on listening and not, thinking of what you're going to do. And through his conversation, he was talking about like where he was from or in the story and everything. And in my head, I'm thinking to ask, well, I want to interject, say, where are you from? But by keeping my mouth shut and just kind of encouraging him to keep talking, he answered all my questions that I were trying to interrupt him with. by keeping shut and just letting him continue talking.
Nice. So
That
he
was
did it
pretty
his own
cool.
time.
Yes.
That's interesting observation.
Yeah, because that's one thing I don't do with a lot of the communication I do, is I like trying to get the details before somebody finishes their conversation.
Nice.
And so I just learned something from that.
Oh, great. Thanks. Thank you. Okay. Who's second?
I thought
How'd it go?
it went pretty good, although I would say about halfway through I started kind of like trailing off as well, and she had kind of prompted me to keep me going. And that was actually probably, she said afterwards that she had to keep herself from interjecting. I actually kind of got more self-conscious as I went through, because I was kind of expecting that.
Oh, so you were expecting an interjection, and you had to stop yourself from interjecting.
I was kind of hoping for it. I don't know if it's just like my natural preference to keep talking, but yeah, I think at that point kind of got a little bit more
It almost got
self-conscious.
uncomfortable when he was like, I'm not going to say anything.
Right. How did it feel as far as if you think about how that person who would treat you that way, like how did it feel she treated you when she just listened? As far as
Well, the energy was very positive.
Very positive
Yeah,
energy.
definitely felt like I was, or she was listening.
Yeah.
That was
cool.
that's good.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
And I spoke, and that felt really good. It did. I really knew he was listening. He did interject, but it was very much in with what I was saying, and just more asking me questions than not putting in his thoughts. And he made me, by what he interjected, it made me realize my focus in my life a lot of the times, because he interjected a lot of what you say is about kids, and it's like, oh yeah, it is, you know. But so it was nice, and you've got very good energy. He's very, yeah. I like your way of communicating.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That made me think of, because you were observing and sharing with her, kind of reflecting a bit about what she was saying. So you got to see yourself more through him listening and being with you. And that's when we be with someone, it's not that we're just completely silent, it's that the gift is, instead of me staying over here in my life and dealing with all my stuff with you in my presence, I'm actually kind of stepping over into your life. We're going to spend some time in your life right now. And that's the gift that I'm going to give you right now. And it's a big gift. We feel seen, we feel heard. I think, in my opinion, one of the biggest gifts we can ever give someone is to actually see them. Where we're not in judgment, we're not comparing me with you, we're just with them, observing and being with whatever it is they're bringing and receiving it. So that's what that exercise is about. It's about, sometimes we can, I like to play with this all the time, just to, play with something new. Like, I'm just going to be something new right now and see what happens over here, see what outcome I can get with that. And it doesn't mean that I'm, what?
I was just thinking about times when you've done that. Okay.
Oh, really? Like, you remember from way back?
Yeah.
Really? Like when I've done something different?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, cool. See, I told you I've been doing this a
Do you
long time.
remember when we'd pretend we were deaf?
Oh! Oh, yeah. Well, I
So
remember
that
that.
came into mind. and
Yeah,
I
I'm
laughed.
thinking, yeah, that was kind of for a different,
Yeah, I know, but
in Taco Bell.
It's
We did that in Taco
pretending.
Bell. I remember
You guys
that.
in high
We were
school?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
how fun.
Yeah. There was someone bothering us and we started going,
Yeah. But no, it's just being in that.
yeah, you can take on something new and see what happens. I'm comparing it right now, but and that's the thing about, I can say that I am one person and always be that same way, but I can just step over and try something new, and see how it works for the other person, the person in the relationship, because we get stuck in having to be right, or we get stuck in having to always do something the same way. And if it's not working, we just try something else. Well, let me go into listening mode 3, or, oh, gee, I'm doing 2 now, or, I'm bringing in my stuff. Well, let me see what happens when I just don't do that for a little while. And maybe, you'll go back to doing it or whatever, but you can play with it and see what different things will come up with you. Okay, so moving on. You ready?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.